We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Did you buy the dip? Did you not buy the dip? We can help you either way. We're going to go over 10 or 11 coins that we like. We went through the super juicy stuff on the YouTube member live stream, which, thanks to the fact that I fat fingered the button, was free. Yes, I was super nice today, as was Toby, tolerating me hitting the wrong button. So on the site, there is a free stream, but we're going to go through all the things today. Jerome Powell's lost 15 pounds. The poor guy's on his way out. BlackRock is hoovering everything. And of course, XRP. Can you believe it? YouTube member area has got the small cap picks, which I kind of recommend hoovering up at this juncture. But can you believe that the guy sold $175 million worth of XRP at 3? We will go over what happens when someone internally or somebody on the inside gets bearish their own coins and unloads it. Because you're like, well, that's confusing. Does that mean XRP is no good? Actually, it means exactly the opposite. And of course, alt season was canceled 2 days ago, and we'll talk about how that's absurd. And my motto for the show is no chickens. No chickens, people. No chickens. You get a red day in this market, boom. Okay, now what happened last night? Let's talk about it. So they hit it in New York. Then you went to bed. Then you woke up because they were hitting it in Asia. Then on the London Open, they went, I think they just got everybody out. It's called stop fishing. Stop fishing. Now, when you see stop fishing, that is Wall Street, for lack of a better term, running all the stops, liquidating all the leverage players so they can stand underneath the waterfall and take everyone's crypto, as everyone goes under the mistaken impression that alt season lasted 4 days, a week. Please. Sector rotations occur. Markets need a reason to go up, but they don't necessarily need a reason to go down. However, once you know that, that's when, as my colleague in the YouTube member area would say, you go shopping. And that's what we've been doing, shopping right now. I think one of the earlier times, like yesterday or 2 days ago, I said, hey, can you come look at the banter bubbles? And she looks at it and goes, yeah, I don't think I want to shop. Now, next time I hear that, I'm going to be like, hey, get to the chopper, sell for 2 days. Learning the lesson of decoding what this very special analyst has to say. And if you don't hit the $ button at the bottom of the live chat or hit the join button, I can't help you. All right. Now, let's talk about, oh my God. I am sitting here looking at a picture of Jerome Powell. Okay. So Trump is 78 and Powell has lost so much weight. It almost looks like they kind of like dug him up from the grave. I'm like, oh my God, this guy looks terrible. Now, again, when you have a circus with this scandal, you're going to have distractions, a need for a distraction coming down on Powell. They're talking about a shadow Fed chairman. They're going to announce his successor while Powell's still in office, which means no one's going to listen to Powell. They're going to listen to the successor. Kind of a circus. Now, undoubtedly, the successor is going to talk about injecting high-powered money into the system and cutting rates. Rates at 1% means nothing, honestly. I mean, it'll bring down mortgage rates if the bond market cooperates, which is what the orange man doesn't understand. What is coming is they're going to put high-powered money in the system. And when they do that, crypto simply just pumps. It absolutely pumps. And the orange man does have problems, right? Do you remember the guy with the horns who, decided to go into that big federal building during the winter a couple years ago? Yeah. Okay. He just had a few not nice things to say to the orange man on Twitter. That guy, I think that guy went to jail. So the orange man's got some political difficulties going on there. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. What do you do when you have political difficulties? Pump crypto. Make announcements. And Toby keeps saying, and I'm going to decode this, mark my words. She's been saying DeFi, 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 banks, banks, banks for months, a year, more. I could tell by the look on her face today that this is going to happen now. Now. Okay. So all these dimwits that sold, wait do you see what I got here? In the title, like how many picks? Okay. Don't go anywhere. Don't even think about it, because we are going to go through this, because now is the time. Period. End of story. Now let's talk about this XRP dimwit that decided to sell $175 million worth of XRP. Okay, so maybe he wanted to buy a house, a boat, a car. Maybe he wanted an upgrade to like a Bezos type girlfriend. Who knows? But the thing is, he unloaded it all at the same time. Like, he couldn't get out fast enough. Like, oh my God, it's at $3. I got to get out. Dude, that's 2019 thinking. That's 2019 thinking, which is exactly what you want to fade in XRP. There's a story about them introducing XRP DeFi. And this guy is like market selling huge quantities. Everyone's down. Everyone's angry. Everyone's freaking out. And none of that. This guy market sold it all because he doesn't believe in the type of price target that Toby has for XRP, which is, okay. You know, and even if it doesn't get to Toby's target, which it will, anything in the middle, anything near that, dude, you don't market sell all of that at 3 something. You can let that gradually go. I mean, I understand people have to sell, but you don't have to market dump it. Now, why did he market dump it? Because he was bearish his own coin. I remember Consensus, the ETH organization, selling at like 3,200. They're bearish their own coin. They could have put it in Aave and borrowed against it. Now, it was a good trade, I guess, because it went to 1,500. But when Ethereum is bearish their own coin, where's Ethereum going? Well, gee, if you look at the consensus prior to the correction, it was 10,000, 15,000. I mean, some guy's probably getting paid $1 million a year or more to go on CNBC and say it's going to 15,000. But Consensus was selling it at 3,200. When they're bearish their own coin, it goes up, just like Wall Street banks, right? When Wall Street banks, when the insiders are all selling, right? When they lay 20% or 15% of the people off after the stock market or the bond market go down, after the last guy walks out the door with a box, as unfortunate as that is, because I was at Wall Street for a long time, as unfortunate as it is, when the last guy walks out the door with his box, the market bottoms and goes literally straight up. So you actually want insiders to be bearish, because when they're bearish, it just goes straight up. Toby says you want to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. You definitely want to do the opposite of whatever these insiders are doing, particularly when the guy like market sells. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get out gradually. You can't call a market maker. It is ridiculously bullish. Ridiculously bullish. And the XRP community was probably in shock because the price action was horrible. They're like, oh my God, something's wrong. No, bro, nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Meanwhile, back at the BlackRock ranch, they just continue to hoover this stuff up. And places like CryptoQuant and Glassnode continue to report the amount of institutional buying that is occurring above 110. You want to hit the market? Feel free, dude. It's like driving a bicycle into a cement wall. It's not going to work out good. It's not, because they're down there. Who's down there? Everybody's down there. Fidelity, BlackRock, Cathie Wood, everyone's down there. Everyone's like, we got to get the supply while we can get the supply now. And if you heard what Toby said in the YouTube member podcast today, well, I'm not going to tell you. You're just going to have to check it out. Oh my God, that's right. We made it free. Holy cow. You mean you can go watch what Toby said today for free and then figure out that you got to listen to this woman on small coins? I'm sorry. Did I say that? Did I say that with the out loud voice? Accidental shill blur. Accidental. I don't know. Blurt is the word I'm looking for. Because altcoins one day will explode the way Bitcoin did, right? Bitcoin dominance, where's it going? 50. Bitcoin has been the only trade for 2 years. We continue to talk about the suppression in altcoins, right? Another XRP example. There's a protocol that came out. More markets launched an XRP earn account, allowing retail investors to access yield strategies traditionally reserved for institutions. You mean they got DeFi running on XRP? Huh. Funny. I thought XRP at $3, you got rid of it. No, right? Absolutely not. I mean, absolutely not. Do you know Bitcoin is now worth more than Amazon? You know what I'm saying? Like, MicroStrategy is raising another $2 billion to buy Bitcoin because you know what? What's $2 billion between friends? Nothing, right? BlackRock's doing it. Fidelity's doing it. They're just going to drain it all out of the system. And the thing that's funny is Bitcoin may not be the star of the show. Not right away, right? It's these altcoins that the 800-pound gorillas have been sitting on that have to catch up to Bitcoin, of course, naturally. And this happens in bull markets, right? Talked about this, about flash crashes, about how you can just wake up one day and then whoosh, it's down. And you don't even know why. And you think the bear market is back. It's called the knife experience, right? You see that thing falling and you think, oh my God, this is like the last 6 months. I'm telling you, it isn't. I'm turning red face, shouting into this market. It's not the last 6 months. It's not the last 6 months. It's different, right? It's a different kind of bull market where it rallies in stages. And again, our members have got their bags packed. You want to trade this market the way Hulk Hogan lives his life, right? You want to be strong, no chickens. Get after Andre the Giant, the big bear. Rest in peace, brother. You inspired a generation. Hulk Hogan, Rocky Balboa, John Rambo, Luke Skywalker. That's what I grew up with. Strong stuff. Strong stuff. You know what I mean? Now, on a different subject, we have the Tornado Cash lawsuit. And let's take a brief moment to review what is going on with the Tornado Cash lawsuit. Because this is a way of crypto getting clarity. The Tornado Cash lawsuit is essentially, even though we had a lot of viewers from New York, but we have their government, which can do interesting things, suing the guy who wrote the Tornado Cash code. And their idea of fun is to bring a tax collector to testify about, Roman Storm, if I got that correct, knew about a hack, could have stopped the hack, whatever. And as, Uncle Sugar from that state government makes its case, we discover that this agent, this tax collector, was the victim of a romance-based crypto scandal, at which point the Tornado Cash lawyers were like, you got to be kidding me. This is a mistrial. This is a case. Now, the Tornado Cash lawyers, and this is when I knew it was all over but the crime, they're bringing Chainalysis in. They know everything. I mean, if Uncle Sugar doesn't have Chainalysis testimony, they're done. Because Chainalysis knows everything. And then Tornado Cash, in case you don't know what it is essentially a mixer. ETH goes in, ETH comes out. That ETH that comes out is private. It's called transactional freedom. Now, can that be used by nefarious players to disappear? Right. Exactly. Muscle cars, the Mustang, all these cars, they were used by bootleggers back in the 20s to get away from cops who were trying to stop booze from moving around because booze was illegal in the United States for a period of times. Sometimes, and Bitcoin was the same way, sometimes, not so nice people adopt things early. Okay. But privacy is necessary. Don't believe me? Okay. Well, the guy running for New York City mayor, who is going to make us all rich, obscenely rich, he wants to abolish private property, meaning my property is my property and your property is my property. So if you have a $21 million condo or you have something and we want it for something, we're going to walk in and take it. Interesting, right? And he wants to open up the prisons and let everybody out because what is and what is not aggression is a relative thing. That's very interesting. Okay. Now, undoubtedly, this is to get attention, as if the guy needs any more attention, for goodness sake. But you got 4 people in that race. You got him. You got 2 whiny people in the middle, right, that think they deserve whatever. Like one guy, the current guy who everybody is supporting, presided over the city deteriorating, and everybody's throwing money at him. And then you have a guy named Sleewell on the right who, formed the Guardian Angels, a bunch of guys who wore red hats who policed the subway. But, like the neighborhood watch. Play around with those guys and find out. Okay, but, this other guy could conceivably win. So if you have Tornado Cash vindicated, you have antivirus, which is like baby Tornado Cash because they have not only a mixer, but a cross-chain mixer. And the more people use it, the more people burn the tokens. And I've already talked to Janice McAfee of getting live on the air, quick, fast, in a hurry, if that Tornado Cash, lawsuit or trial is favorable for antivirus. But in the event that you don't think you need crypto, because who else might need crypto is the banks. The banks may need it, which could be what Toby is seeing, right? In other words, if this guy comes into the traditional financial system and starts messing with the Wall Street banks, they're going to need their clients are going to want a decentralized pipe. And why do you think BlackRock wants tokenization of assets? Because they want to access capital markets without going through banks. And wouldn't you know, for anybody who stayed around, that, in the recent picks for the new moon from the GAN model, where we take Toby's picks and filter them through this model, which is featured in the Patreon Platinum area. So YouTube membership, small caps, live picks. Got a free demonstration today, people. Come check it out. Come check it out. And after that, your hand is just going to magically move over to the button and click the join. You're going to be like, oh, I want that. So what do we got today? What do we got? I don't know. We got Chintai, Clearpool. Hey now, right? We have quite the list of things that the GAN model filtered out from what Toby did. Morpho, which is DeFi. Real world assets, DeFi. Now, again, I gave it to you for free. We gave it to you for free, right? I got hit in the head with the goddess sandal for clicking the wrong button. It's right there for you. It's absolutely right there for you. And here's another funny aspect. The people who were in FTX are going to get they're getting their money back. Now, where's that money going to go? gee, I'm about to get my money back. What should I do? Should I buy the Magnificent Seven stocks at the high, beyond at an all-time high, after a 30% vertical rally, no doubt created by the Fed? Or should I buy ETH at 3,300 or whatever it was last night? Like they selling it like, oh my God, please take it from me. Like Solana at 182 was unbelievable. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me with this. You gotta be kidding me with this, right? And you know what? Thank God I was disciplined enough that even though I didn't believe it, I actually published, right, the Patreon Platinum piece where I talked about, right, strategic altcoin plan for July, which had all these levels underneath the market. So this is the platinum research area. And because I'm a nice guy, I gave that to our middle tier guys as well, right? The Spartans. So everybody had a tactical plan for the dip before the dip. And they've got price targets out until the eclipse. You want to know what I'm charging for that piece in the store? Patreon has a store, $100. That's how good I think it is. And that's how valuable it was, because my guys were standing down there going, oh, how nice. People, you got to get research. You got to get in the game. This is not 2021 where you buy Sushi Swap and 5 other coins and you just sit and watch it go up. It's not happening. You're going to actually have to be an investor and a trader in order to get this done. I saw another thing where Solana is actually trying to make itself faster and be able to handle more transactions. What do you think is going to happen when they start running stablecoins on all these networks? 75 billion is probably coming in right away. Bank of America wants a stable coin. Goldman is getting involved. You know why they're getting involved? Because they're behind the curve. Oh, I have to wait for the legislation. Actually, you didn't. Van Eck was doing this way before the legislation. They were doing it a year and a half ago. But, okay, compliance and legal will let them do it. Lovely. Welcome to crypto. My bags are packed. And you, Mr. Three-Piece Suit, are going to moon them, and I am going to laugh all the way to your bank. There's other crypto news where Bitcoin is moving in a way that's different from past cycles. So it's not necessarily a banana higher, even though we like the bananas, but we don't like the 80% drops in the winters, right? People should be paying attention to the stair-step function in Bitcoin. The fact that, institutions are accumulating, they're accumulating at the high. And it's also kind of funny that they gave up on alt season after one day. They just packed it in, right? So, when I'm handing you some of these picks, right, that we came up with, right? So, a little taste here. I already talked to you about CHEX. That's Chintai, if I have that pronunciation right. That's lending and real world assets, I believe, or that's real world assets, right? Institutional grade, by the way. Morpho, which is online lending. Clearpool, which is online lending, right? And you ready for this? Little value investing with THORChain. Cross-chain. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP all get going at the same time. Forget about it. Especially if they all start winding up, if the ETF game starts getting hot. Remember, the orange man needs a catalyst. He needs a catalyst. He's got to have it. He's got to have ongoing catalysts to keep people distracted. They're coming out with an announcement on the 30th. And you know what? If it's good, wonderful. If it's not good, then they're going to have to make another announcement. They're going to have to make another announcement. Like 0x0, right? Privacy and security and artificial intelligence. Like if you look at the charts of these things, it's like what happened to these projects? Did they get pushed out of a van? You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, you know, this got pushed out of a moving vehicle, right? You know, Cetus, I believe this is Sui DeFi on a 4-hour chart. Very nice of them to give you a very clean 62% retracement of the recent move up. God, I love you guys. Thank you. Because listen, I thought this thing was just going to go. I'm like, oh my God, ETH is going to go to 4,000. ETH's going to go to 4,000, right? Jito, right? JTO, liquid staking. They're still hitting it. They can't get rid of it fast enough. Super. Again, another 62% retracement. Let me ask you something. Do you think I'm the only one who can draw these things? I don't think so. I think the algos that hoover this stuff up, you know, you realize that you had like, I want to say you had $60 million flowing into hedge funds for, you know, like digital asset fund flows are crazy banana pants. They're after this thing like you don't know. Retail wants in, family offices. Where's this stuff going? Moonwell. Oh my God. Look at this. This is like destruction derby. Look at this wick right down in the LuxAlgo support. Wow. Thank you for coming in. It's a flash crash, right? And what do you do with flash crashes in a bull market? Oh, you go, oh, thank you. Right? Thank you very much. And here's what the really funny thing about stuff like Clearpool. Yeah, it's done absolutely nothing. Nothing. Like SYRUP and Aave have done well, but the other protocols have done absolutely nothing. I mean, Chintai is still inside of its discount zone. And look at this. Look at everyone packing it in. I mean, you know, Toby likes to find these things that are dead. I mean, she's still telling people, like, I'm not going to tell you what the coin is, but, you know, she's still telling people about this one project. And I was looking at it, I was like, really? You want to do that? Yeah, big boy, I want to do that. Thanks for coming into the YouTube member area. GRASS, AI for normies. All right. AI for normies. And I can tell you what she said on the YouTube member podcast, which was free today, again, because, you know, somehow I pressed the wrong button. She said that decentralized AI takes off. And I couldn't translate it, you know, because she has special abilities. But she said there was like a confluence of events. Like there's a group of events that are going to occur that are going to get decentralized AI going. And you can bet your bottom dollar that I am going to get to the bottom of what those catalysts are. Because when I ask her on the actual member podcast, we're going to fish this out. Meanwhile, AI for normies destroyed. Artificial superintelligence token, right? Not getting the favorable treatment from LuxAlgo today. Thinks this is a long-term hodl, even though it's painful. And she mentioned Polkadot, which again has gotten absolutely no love. And we have talked about this before. We actually had a guy asking about it. Injective, right? Nice diamond bottom. All of this sold into LuxAlgo support, by the way. All of it, right? Wow, look at SEI. At the apex, right? By the way, so was GRASS. And when you get to the apex of one of these triangles, when it breaks out, it really goes. So it's either going to break down or it's going to massively break out on the upside. Wow, they sold Sui into support. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. I mean, if you know, I don't know, it was TAO. Yeah, they did it with TAO too. I mean, these coins, a lot of them are just hanging on to the support. The support's holding because they wicked down and came back. you want to see some follow through on the upside. I don't want to be a complete, I don't want to be a complete bull fool. I'm pretty sure, like I was looking at well, first it's XRP. So yeah, they sold XRP right into LuxAlgo support. Thank you very much. Right. Whoever this guy was who sold it gave you a 38% retracement to the number at 299. How nice. Now, again, maybe he had to buy a mansion. Maybe he had some bills to pay. I don't know. But it looked like, don't get me wrong. This looked like it was going to zero. Like this was like, oh my God, this is a top in XRP. It's never going up again in our lifetime. That was it. Okay. So here's the 9 bottom in XRP. You don't want to see this rally fail badly. Even if it does, you want it to hold 289, but I don't like 9 bottoms with failed rallies. That's not good. Okay. So again, you have to be objective with the TA. But I mean, again, ETH gets to support all buyers, right? Had to do that final wick down just to make sure they got everybody's. Just make sure they got all your crypto, right? And this I don't understand at all. Like Solana, like, wow. Solana at 205, Solana at 176. I mean, Toby talked about possible problems with legal problems with pump.fun. I don't know, man. I don't know why everybody's selling Solana. They just cannot get away from 180. I got all pumped up. Like, yeah, we're taking 180 out this time. Jeez. You got to be kidding me with this. But, I mean, that's the way it is. This is the way bull markets act. They can frustrate you. That's it. They can frustrate you. I mean, Solana on a daily chart. Okay. So what I'm hoping for is that this is your counter trend rally. So you go up, you make this 9 signal, and then you get this counter trend move. Now, if Solana holds and doesn't fall apart, even if it takes a couple days to come back, it's going to go up again. Now, another little caveat, another little tidbit that you may be missing is, okay, here's a dip, but here's the real gut check. Like, what's going on? Like, when they smashed it overnight and it's still down, right? Does it trade good? Nope. Does it look good? Not really. But guess what, people? It never looks good at a bottom. Never trades good at a bottom. At a top, oh my God, Solana's going to 500, ETH's going to 15,000, wearing a lampshade on my head. Oh my God, I can't believe how bullish this is. I'm giving letter 50x long, boom, straight down, and it looks like dog do. It's like, I can't rally. This XRP guy may have more to unload. That's a bottom. Just as sure as God made little apples, that's a bottom, right? Pulling up Sui. By the way, members, the $4.99 emoji gets you the $4.99 membership, gets you priority on comments. So Sui on a daily chart. Is this complicated? I don't think so. It's not complicated, right? They break a level, they come back down, they retest it, they wick everybody out, the oversold, the overbought situation release itself. That tactical plan had SEI, SUI, ETH, Solana, and TAO, and maybe 2 others. Every Patreon tier just standing down there waiting for it. Toby hooking you up with free large caps today. Previous stream hooking you up with member small caps. Some of them with $35 million market cap. And of course, when do you want to buy these things? You want to buy this stuff to state the obvious when they're down. Everybody wants a dip, then they get a dip, then they walk away. They're like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I don't want it. You know, Bitcoin at 123 was fantastic. But at 116, I don't want it. Back at the Federal Reserve Ranch, Eagle King now reports that they lost $653 million last week. It's an unprofitable bank because their assets, you know, the government bonds that they hoovered up during the QE period yield 3%, and they're paying banks who deposit money 4%. They have lost a total of $236 billion since September of 2022. And the simple fact of the matter is, if Powell was in charge of a private sector organization, he would be out. He doesn't want his legacy ruined. His legacy of what? Presiding over the biggest inflation debacle since 1980? And you're going to stay there and fix it? When really, fiscal dominance is what drives inflation. Fiscal dominance means how much money Uncle Sugar prints. And we discussed yesterday with Arthur Hayes about state-sponsored capitalism, where the government is guaranteeing the prices corporation gets for products. They're guaranteeing the loans they need to expand operations. You know, when the Orange Man said made in America, they're going to make it in America, whether it's profitable or not. Uncle Sugar is coming in and they're going to do it, right? TA on Chainlink. It's kind of funny with all this cross-chain talk. Like, who's talking about Chainlink? Nobody. Nobody, right? And again, this is, I mean, I'll do the TA. This stuff is all the same, right? Down, up to the premium zone because it's been a very tight range. Back down, sold it into support. Everybody puked this thing out. Everybody got stopped out into support, right? And probably that includes all of these crypto equities. Like, look at Cardano. Oh, my God. Look at them wick this thing, right? Through the support point just to make sure everybody understands, right? I mean, there's going to be ETFs eventually that include a large majority of these coins. The ETF game is not done. Like, regulatory clarity means they're going to start putting these things inside ETFs. Most likely the first stage, I'm not sharing the screen. Most likely the first stage, am I sharing the screen or am I sharing myself? Sharing myself. Okay. The first stage is futures contracts because XRP has a futures contract. And who knows, whatever happened yesterday could have been fueled by that guy selling $175 million worth, which could have triggered stops in the XRP futures contract, making it look in the crypto world way worse than it really was. Way worse than it really was. And again, this goes like across the board. I mean, we got to start looking at Bitcoin dominance, man. Bitcoin dominance, the opposite of everything else. And we'll find out who's right. LuxAlgo came in and said, we want to buy it. You had massive give up trade. Okay. All right. I mean, that's true. Altcoins did do a robust rally. And of course, you know, you had Bitcoin dominance go straight down and then altcoins go down for 3 days and everyone's losing their mind. Why is everyone losing their mind? Oh, alt season canceled. What's your definition of alt season? Oh, well, my bag goes up every day for 2 years. That's not how it works anymore. It's not, right? Bitcoin dominance, like they sold everything into support. Bitcoin dominance now has resistance at 62. You know, the discount zone was at 60. Oh, okay, right? Okay. So, you know, like I said, let's look at altcoins outside. I believe this is outside the top 10. Others. right into support. And I wish it could have stayed above this neckline, but if it recovers back up there, I'll be happy, because this could be a head and shoulders bottom. So did they do some damage on the charts? Yeah. But they can't hold syrup down. They can't hold it down. Why? Because it's a leading DeFi play. I mean, folks, they're definitively coming into DeFi, like now. Now. Okay. So I want to wrap it up, right? I don't want to wrap it up. I want to welcome who's here. So we have Bull Runner. We have Ron, a member for 6 months. Thank you, sir. King, right? #1 fan since 2021. Thank you. XRP DeMark roadmap coming soon to Patreon Premium. Okay. There are XRP targets in there, and Toby has her XRP target. I don't think I could do any better, but I'll do some stuff. Is the downtrend reversal in XRP over? Yes. Okay. It trades terrible. Good. It's a bottom. Volatility is an opportunity. Oh my God. Hal Lopez up in Portugal in the middle of the night for his second stream in a row. I can't get any stronger than that. Suncatcher Hawaii, right? Live it when start. Well, sorry about the button push. Ben Coin ever going to the moon? Yeah, don't do that. Hav, DJ and Joe, members, welcome Spartans. Nice using that emoji. That boy Mac, welcome. Tyler Hall, DC Precise. We are live again. We are live again. We're actually going to do, we're going to be doing 2 a day soon. Kim Craig, David, the Hot Mess Express. Welcome. Lee J, you're welcome for the free show today with Miss Toby. We do that every once in a while. We're supposed to do it monthly. It just so happens that, if the Eagle King goes out and, gets a hero sandwich and does his dry cleaning, and I wind up setting up streams, the wrong button gets pushed. So no problem. And that winds up a free stream. Measurable data token is going crazy. Dude, there are small caps underneath this market that are going to move. Daniel J. from the Jersey Shore. Johnny Rico. Is Chainlink worth buying? Dude, I had it in Patreon Platinum. It's on the list. It's on the list, bro. Rob H. Bizan is here. Crypto Crazy. Kim Craig. Iron Alien. Welcome, sir. Joe Hackman. Thank you for tuning in to the show. People, don't let these characters shake you out. Kim Craig says, as well as sovereignty and privacy. I'm going to be the Michael Saylor of privacy. I'm going to be the guy that gets antivirus going. I'm going to be the guy that reminds everybody of why we are in crypto, because you can't survive these down trades unless, of course, you know the future, which Toby Ward has graciously given you in this wonderful book about hackers versus hedge funds. And if you don't know who Toby Ward is, I have a surprise for you. I pressed the wrong button and we did the YouTube member live stream for free. So I could tell you how smart she is. I could tell you how talented she is as an analyst, or you could go see for yourself and have a fun time doing it. Of course, we want to thank all of our members who were tolerant of me fat fingering the stream today. Do not let them shake you out of this market, even if it trades like crap, which it does. It does. It's like, oh, it's euphoric. And it's like, oh, it's a reversal. And oh, and it's down again. Seriously. Now, let's just briefly do a little asterisk, because this is not investment advice. This is an opinion show. If there's a risk to crypto, it's a geopolitical event. and a rising price of oil. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? You start seeing headlines about that, and you have to start being careful. I didn't discuss that with Toby because I only get so many points to talk about the apocalypse in a month, and I'm out of points. So I couldn't discuss it on the member stream today. Just be aware of these things. But the market does climb the wall of worry, and it never trades good at a bottom. The link for Toby's book, if you want to know the future, if you want to know what it's going to be like, the link is down below. The link is in the chat. Your support will be appreciated. She checks sales every day. She gave you a free stream. The ebook is $9. The book with this super, super cool glossy cover, I think is like in the 20s. Come see the future. Come be entertained at the beach. Watch the market update. Join Patreon Platinum. Become a YouTube member. And other than that, I don't need you to do anything. Okay, that's the market update for today. We will see you tomorrow.